Hi, my name is Sandy Carter. I'm the Vice President of IBM Social Business Evangelism, and welcome to our Social Business Coffee Break. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend a couple of minutes with me learning some more about social business. And today's topic I think is really exciting. IBM has just finished a study of over 2,000 companies around the world, and they've looked at a whole set of topics. I'll do short coffee breaks on them to not waste your time. And today's chosen topic is barriers to adopting social business. I'm sure many of us can relate to some of these topics, but what I want to do is also talk to you about ways to overcome that particular barrier. So the number one barrier that most companies told us about was around security and access control. How do they ensure that their employees or that their customers get access to the right social network, and that they ensure that if they have protected information, let's say you're using social business in HR, how do you make sure that that information is protected and has the right level of controls around it? Of course, we at IBM take security extremely seriously. And if you look at your choice of social business platform, make sure that you're looking at those questions. Can you protect a community? What is the access control? And how do you really manage that? You know, we talked earlier that we had introduced a special social business solution in the cloud for government that does meet the government security standards. Something that you want to check out and explore while you're looking at your social business platform. The second barrier to adopting social business is adoption by employees or customers. And I think this one is really important. And over 40% of companies said this was one of their number one barriers. And we do see this a lot. This is unlike other technology trends where you build the technology and people have to use it. This is one where you really need to focus in on hiring a community manager and having an adoption plan that goes through not just your technology deployment, but how are you going to communicate it? How are you going to measure it? What are you going to do to make sure that people see value in it? Really putting this into your workflow. The third major barrier is it doesn't fit with my culture. Again, another 40% of companies said that culture really matters. And this is why I love the saying, culture eats strategy for lunch. It is so true with social business that impacts people. If your culture in your company isn't open and isn't adopting and doesn't want to engage, social business isn't for you. But if you want to change that culture, you can actually use social techniques and social networkings inside of your company to help change that culture, to get it more in sync with today's Facebook culture that exists in the marketplace. The fourth trend that is an inhibitor or a barrier to entry is around integration with your other systems. This is a really interesting one. Almost 30% of you, or a little bit over 30% of you, talked about this one. And this is really important because if social is not embedded into your process, whether that process is an internal one or an external one like customer service interfacing with your clients, if it's not embedded and integrated in, you won't be successful. So again, your choice of social business platform, the technology, can help you with that integration. And finally, the last one that I'll do, again, about 30% of you said compliance. We're in a regulated industry and we have to be compliant. And again, I think that is a very interesting barrier, especially for those who work in banks or insurance companies, drug companies, who have to adhere to regulations that sometimes have not caught up with today's society. I'd encourage you to check out some solutions like that from our partner Actionz, who has done some really great things helping you with e-discovery and regulatory compliance that allows you to bring the best of both worlds, social business and compliance together. Thank you so much for your time today. I'm really excited by this study, and thanks for really thinking through your barriers to adopting social business and how you can overcome them. Again, this is Sandy Carter. Thank you for our Social Business Coffee Break.